We're about to step onto a battlefield, but the real war we're going to witness isn't one of swords and arrows. It's a crisis of the soul, happening inside one of history's greatest warriors, who, on the verge of the most important battle of his life, simply puts down his weapons. And his crisis raises a question that, honestly, we all face in some way. What do you do when a thing you're supposed to do, your duty, goes head-to-head with the people you love most, when doing the right thing feels completely, totally wrong? You see, for the warrior Arjuna, this wasn't some abstract problem. He was on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. The armies were ready, the conch shells were blowing, and then he looked across the field. And he didn't just see an enemy army. He saw his great-grandfather Bhishma, his revered teacher Drona, his own cousins. And in that one moment, his resolve just shattered. Now, you have to understand, this wasn't just a case of getting cold feet. This was a full-blown moral breakdown. Arjuna, a man born and bred to be a warrior, to fight for what's right, suddenly started questioning the very meaning of justice itself. This incredible internal conflict is what kicks off one of the most profound spiritual conversations ever recorded, the Bhagavad Gita. It's this amazing dialogue between Arjuna, the warrior who's completely lost, and his charioteer, Krishna, who is about to reveal something incredible about the nature of reality. And listen to what Arjuna is arguing here. He's not saying he's scared. He's making a moral case. He's basically saying, look, they might be blinded by greed and ambition, but we're not. We can see that killing our own family, our own teachers, is a terrible sin. So why on earth would we go through with it? And this really lays out the core of the problem, doesn't it? On one side, you have Arjuna's view, which is all about human connection. These are my relatives. Killing them is a sin. Our entire family's traditions will be destroyed. But then, you see the start of Krishna's guidance, which is on a whole different level. He's about to zoom out, way out, and change how Arjuna sees everything. So, Krishna doesn't start with a pep talk about winning the war. He starts with the most fundamental question there is. Arjuna, who do you think you really are? He introduces this idea of the Atman, the true self. He explains that this isn't your body, it's not your personality, it's not your job title. It's the eternal, indestructible spark of life that's inside every single living being. This soul, Krishna says, can't be created, and it can never, ever be destroyed. And then he uses this brilliant metaphor that just completely flips the script on death. He says the soul changing bodies is just like you changing your clothes. The body gets old, it gets worn out, so the soul simply sheds it and moves into a new one. He's telling Arjuna, you can't really kill them. Their essence, their Atman, is immortal. You're just helping them change their outfits, so to speak. Okay, so knowing that the soul is eternal, that's a huge first step. But it's only half the puzzle. The next piece is figuring out your specific job in this whole cosmic play. And this is where the idea of Dharma comes in. Dharma is more than just a job. It's your righteous path, your true purpose that helps keep the whole universe in balance. And for Arjuna, as a warrior, a kshatriya, his Dharma is crystal clear. He has to fight to protect justice. Krishna argues that walking away from that duty, even for a good reason like love, would actually cause way more suffering in the long run. So Krishna just lays it all out. He says, look, from a Dharma perspective, you can't lose. If you die fighting for what's right, you go to heaven. If you win, you restore justice on earth. The only way you truly lose is if you abandon your duty because of your personal feelings. So get up and fight. But how? I mean, that all sounds good in theory, but how do you actually bring yourself to fight the people you love? This leads to Krishna's final and maybe most powerful teaching. It's the secret to doing what you have to do without being destroyed by it. He calls it nishkama karma, the path of selfless action. Krishna's big secret is this. You have a right to your actions, but you have no right to the results of your actions. Think about it. All of Arjuna's pain, the grief, the fear, it's all coming from being attached to the outcome. What will happen? Will I win? Will they forgive me? Krishna says, just let it all go. And he breaks it down into 3 simple steps. 1. Focus only on the action itself. Do your duty with 100% of your skill and attention. 2. Let go of the outcome. Whether you get victory or defeat, praise or blame, stay balanced. And 3. Do it for something bigger than yourself. Dedicate your actions to a higher purpose, to upholding cosmic order. And this total shift in perspective, from seeing it as a personal tragedy to a sacred duty, it changes everything for Arjuna. The fog of confusion begins to lift, and his paralysis gives way to a powerful sense of purpose. And finally, we hear it from Arjuna himself. His transformation is complete. He says, "My doubt is gone. I will act on your word." He understands now. His real duty isn't to save the physical bodies of his family, but to uphold the universal law of Dharma. He picks up his bow, and he is ready. So Arjuna's story becomes this timeless guide for us. It challenges us to look past our own personal attachments, our fears, our emotions. In the middle of our own battles, our own impossible choices, it makes us ask the same question. What is my Dharma? What is the right thing, the selfless thing, that life is asking me to do right now, no matter how hard it might be?